Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the TikTok Desert Nationals. It's time for the final qualifying session of Pro Stock. On the bump is Dave Hazard, the 175-7. Can the 6 drivers that are outside looking in get in? We start. The number 222 qualifier, Greg Anderson in the near lane. Number 21 qualifier, Kenny Koretsky in the far lane. Last chance to get in. A 183.6 for Koretsky, a 185.3 for Greg Anderson. Going to be a no for both. Our next pair, number 20 qualifier, Jason Lyon in the near lane. Number 19 qualifier, Warren Johnson in the far lane. Can they get in the show? 178.3 for Warren Johnson, a 184.8 for Jason Lyon. Jason Lyon is a no. Warren Johnson is a no. They do not qualify, but Warren Johnson improves to number 18 spot. Our next pair, number 19 qualifier, Vidusky in the near lane. Number 17 qualifier, V Gaines in the far lane. 175.7 is the bump. Can these two get in? 180 with a 1 for Vidusky, a 181.9 for V Gaines. That'll be a no. Your Pro Stock field is set. And now these 16 qualified cars get to see where they will line up for race day. Our number 16 qualifier, Dave Hazard, near lane. Number 15 qualifier, Eric Enders in the far lane. 176.4 for Eric Enders and 179.3 for Dave Hazard. Dave Hazard stays 16th. Eric Enders stays 15th. Our next pair, number 14 qualifier, Dave Conley in the near lane. Number 13 qualifier, Big E in the far lane. Can they improve? 176.4 for Big E and a 179.7 for Dave Conley. Dave Conley stays 13th or stays 14th. Big E stays 13th. Next pair, number 12 qualifier, Roger Dodger near lane. Number 11 qualifier, Fireball in the far lane. 175.9 for Fireball and a 176.2 for Roger Dodger. Dodger stays 12th. Fireball stays 11th. Our next pair, number 10 qualifier, CM Punk near lane. Number 9 qualifier, Alan Johnson far lane. 172.8 for Alan Johnson and 174.5 for CM Punk. CM Punk stays number 10. Alan Johnson moves up to the number 8 spot. Our next pair, now number 9 qualifier, Zan in the near lane. Number 7 qualifier, John Cena in the far lane. As Cena does not improve, he faces Punk in round number 1. A 174.6 for Cena and a 175.8 for Zan. Zan will stay 9th and start in the bottom half of the field. Alan Johnson 8th. Cena will stay 7th. That'll be an interesting round 1 matchup. Up next, number 6 qualifier, Bones in the near lane. Number 5 qualifier, Hockey in the far lane. Bones a 174.3. Hockey a 178.1. Bones stays 6th. Hockey will stay 5th. Our next pair, number 4 qualifier, Civic in the near lane. Number 3 qualifier, Toyota in the far lane. A 170 with a 3 for Toyota, a 173.9 for Civic. Civic will stay 4th. Toyota moves up to the number 2 spot. And our final pair for Pro Stock final qualifying session, number 4. Number 3 qualifier, Bowman near lane. Number 1 qualifier, Fast Fish in the far lane. To get her number 1 spot back, Bowman must run better than Fish's 169.9 from the 3rd session. 170 with a 3 for Fast Fish and 173.1 for Boma. It's not going to happen. So here are your matchups for Pro Stock. Round number 1. Fast Fish will take on Dave Hazard. Toyota will take on Eric Enders. Boma will take on Dave Conley. Civic will take on Big E. Hockey will take on Roger Dodger. Bones will take on Fireball. Cena will take on teammate CM Punk. and Alan Johnson will take on Zan. Mario Kart final qualifying session next. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the TikTok Desert Nationals. It's time for the final qualifying session of the Mario Karts. Baby Luigi is your current bump spot holder with a 171 flat. Up first, number 24 qualifier Bowser Jr. in the near lane. 23 qualifier Toadette in the far lane. Can they get in? A 175.2 for Toadette, a 177.5 for Bowser Jr. That's going to be a no. Bowser Jr. stays 24, Toadette stays 23rd. Our next pair, number 22 qualifier, Koopa Troopa in the near lane. 21 qualifier, Luigi in the far lane. 171 flat to get in. 171.9 for Koopa Troopa and a 173 flat for Luigi. They will not get in. Koopa Troopa's best time of the weekend, and it doesn't even improve him on a position. Stays 22nd. Luigi stays 21st. Next pair, number 20 qualifier, Shy Guy near lane. 19 qualifier, Baby Mario far lane. Can they beat Baby Luigi's time? 174.5 for Baby Mario, 175.5 for Shy Guy. That's going to be a no. Shy Guy stays 20. Baby Mario stays 19. Final two to try to get in the show. Got Rosalina, number 18 in the near lane. Number 17, Baby Peach, far lane. 171.2 for Baby Peach. That's going to be a no. And a 175.4 for Rosalina. That's also a no. Field is set. Baby Luigi gets in the third session and stays in. But can he improve from the number 16 spot? Baby Luigi's 16 qualifier near lane. Number 15 qualifier Diddy Kong far lane. Can they improve? 169.1 for Diddy Kong and 173.3 for Baby Luigi. Baby Luigi will stay and start as your number 16 qualifier. Diddy Kong moves up to the number 11 spot. There are 13 Mario Karts in the 160s. Lakitu with a 166.9 number 1. All the way to Light Blue Yoshi a 169.8. Wow. Our next pair, number 15 qualifier, Cat Peach near lane. Number 14 qualifier, Waluigi in the far lane. Can they improve? 174.4 for Cat Peach, 175.4 for Waluigi. Cat Peach will stay 15th, Waluigi will stay 14th. Our next pair, Light Blue Yoshi, number 13 qualifier near lane. Number 12 qualifier, Donkey Kong in the far lane. Can they improve? 172.1 for Donkey Kong and a 173.6 for Light Blue Yoshi. Light Blue Yoshi stays 13th. Donkey Kong stays 12th. Diddy Kong will stay 11th. Our next pair, number 10 qualifier, Wario near lane. Number 9 qualifier, Light Blue Shy Guy, the Winter Nationals winner, in the far lane. 167.5 for Light Blue Shy Guy, a 172.9 for Wario. Wario will stay 10th. Wario stays 10th. Light Blue Shy Guy up to number 4. Our next pair, number 9 qualifier, Mario in the near lane. Number 8 qualifier, Green Yoshi in the far lane. If these two don't change, this is a round 1 matchup. 170 with a 2 for Yoshi. A 171.2 for Mario. Mario will stay 9th. Green Yoshi will stay 8th. That was a round 1 matchup. Our next pair, number 7 qualifier, Princess Peach in the near lane. Number 6 qualifier, Bowser in the far lane. A 170 with a 6 for Peach. 171 flat for Bowser. Princess Peach will stay 7th. Bowser will stay 6th. Our next pair, number 5 qualifier, Dry Bones near lane. Number 3 qualifier, Toad in the far lane. 171 flat for Toad, 171.5 for Dry Bones. They're going to stay right where they're at. Dry Bones stays 5th. Light Blue Shy Guy 1 4th. Toad will stay 3rd in our final pair. Number 2 qualifier, Red Yoshi in the near lane. Number 1 qualifier, Lakitu in the far lane. This is Lakitu's first race, and he goes to world record number 1 qualifier. And a 167.2 to put a top on it. And 171 with a 7 for Red Yoshi. So here are your matchups for round 1 Mario Kart. Lakitu will take on Baby Luigi. Red Yoshi will take on Cat Peach. Toad will take on Waluigi. Light Blue Shy Guy will take on Light Blue Yoshi. Dry Bones will take on Donkey Kong. Bowser will take on Diddy Kong. Princess Peach will take on Wario. And Green Yoshi will take on Mario. Top Fuel, final qualifying session. Next. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the TikTok Desert Nationals. It is time for the final qualifying session of Top Fuel. Shawn Langdon is your bump spot with a 188 with a 1. Up first, number 23 qualifier, Terry McMillan. He's not been running great, but a 2:06.4 is his quickest time. Can he get under that 2-second barrier? 2:03.4. Gonna be a no. He will not qualify, but he's getting closer. 2:03 with a 4. McMillan stays 23rd. Our first pair, number 22 qualifier, Leah Pruitt, near lane. Number 21 qualifier, Antron Brown in the far lane. 188.1 is the bump spot. A 192.1 for Antron Brown and a 198.5 for Leah Pruitt. Leah Pruitt stays 22nd. Antron Brown stays number 21. They do not qualify. Our next pair, number 20 qualifier, Austin Prock in near lane. Number 19 qualifier, Fisher in the far lane. Can Fisher qualify for his first Top Fuel race? How about a 168, a 186.8 for Fisher? He will get in the show. A 192.9 for Austin Prock. He will not. Austin Prock stays 20. He will not qualify. Good news and bad news for Fisher. Good news, he's in the show. Bad news, he's your bump spot, number 16. The bump is now a 186.8. Up next, number 19 qualifier, Morgan Lucas, near lane. 18 qualifier, Brittany Force, far lane. And a 187.2 for Brittany Force. A 193 flat for Morgan Lucas. They will not get in. Morgan Lucas stays 19th. Brittany Force improves to number 17 spot. Knocking Langdon down to 18. Will not qualify. Which Langdon is the final car who could try to bump his way back into the show. Number 18 qualifier, Shawn Langdon near lane. Number 15 qualifier, Clay Milliken in the far lane. 186.8 is the bump. Can Langdon get back in? That's going to be a no. A 185.5 for Clay Milliken. A 190 with an 8 for Langdon. Langdon will not qualify. Your field is set. Langdon stays 18th, will not qualify. Fisher will be set in your number 16 qualifier. Clay Milliken goes up to number 12 spot. Our next pair, number 15 qualifier, Doug Coletta near lane. Number 14 qualifier, Kenny Bernstein in the far lane. A 186.3 for Kenny Bernstein. And a 187.8 for Doug Coletta. Doug Coletta stays 15th. Kenny Bernstein will stay 14th. Our next pair, number 13 qualifier, Samantha in the near lane. Number 11 qualifier, Rhonda Harmon-Smith in the far lane. And a 185 flat for Samantha. A 190 with a 5 for Rhonda Harmon-Smith. Rhonda Harmon-Smith stays 11th. Samantha bumps her way back up to number 12. Moving Milliken down to 13. Our next pair, number 10 qualifier, Corey Mack in the near lane. Number 9 qualifier, Tony Schumacher in the far lane. Schumacher a 185.9. Corey Mack a 187.4. Corey Mack's going to stay 10th. Tony Schumacher's going to stay 9th. Our next pair. Number 8 qualifier, Larry Dixon, near lane. Number 7 qualifier, Thunder in the far lane. Dixon's win comes off a 188.1 for Thunder. A 203.8 for Larry Dixon. Dixon will stay 8th. Thunder will stay 7th. Our next pair, number 6 qualifier, Gary Scelzi, near lane. Number 5 qualifier, Bones in the far lane. And a 185.3 for Scelzi and a 186.1 for Bones. Scelzi stays 6th. Bones stays 5th. Our next pair, Mike Dunn, lane in the near lane. Number 4 qualifier. Number 3 qualifier, Melanie Troxel in the far lane. What a 179.4 for Melanie Troxel and a 185.4 for Mike Dunn. Dunn will stay 4th, Troxel will stay 3rd in our final Top Fuel qualifying pair. Number 2 qualifier, Joe Amato near lane. Number 1 qualifier, Brandon Bernstein in the far lane. A 179.8 for Brandon Bernstein, a 180 with a 9 for Joe Amato. And here are your round 1 matchups for Top Fuel as Joe Amato stays 2, Brandon Bernstein stays number 1. Brandon Bernstein will take on Fisher. Joe Amato will take on Doug Coletta. Melanie Troxel will take on Kenny Bernstein. Mike Dunn will take on Clay Milliken. Bones will take on teammate Samantha. Gary Scelzi will take on Ron Harmon-Smith. Thunder will take on Corey Mack. And Larry Dixon will take on Tony Schumacher. Funny Car final qualifying session next. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the TikTok Desert Nationals. This time for the final qualifying session of Funny Car. Courtney Force is your bump spot with a 177.5. Up first, number 23 qualifier, Bob Gilbertson in the far lane. Can he get in the show? At 181.7, that is going to be a no for Bob Gilbertson. Our first pair, we have number 22 qualifier Tony Bartone near lane. 21 qualifier Matt Hagan in the far lane. Can they get in? A 179.4 for Hagan, a 188.8 for Tony Bartone. Bartone will stay 22nd. Matt Hagan will move up to number 19. Still will not qualify. Our next pair, number 21 qualifier, Tommy Johnson Jr. near lane. Number 20 qualifier, Jimmy Pedregon in the far lane. Can they qualify? 177.9 for Jimmy Pedregon and a 186.5 for Tommy Johnson Jr. They will not qualify. Jimmy Pedregon misses the field. It goes to number 17. Wow. Tommy Johnson Jr., stay 21, will not qualify. Our next two, we have number 18 qualifier now, Robert Height in the far lane. Number 19 qualifier, John Forrest near lane. Final two to bump their way into the show. 177.5 by Courtney. 177.2 for Robert Height. He will get in. John Forrest at 179.7 will not. John Forrest does not qualify. He will end 19th. Good news, bad news for Robert Height. Good news, he's in. Bad news, he's on the bump. The 177.2. And now Courtney Forrest is trying to make her way back in. Now number 17 qualifier, Courtney Forrest near lane. Number 15 qualifier, Tony Pedregon in the far lane. Can Courtney get back in, or the field will be set? Not happening. A 176.6 for Tony Pedregon. A 182.9 for Courtney Forrest. Our field is set. Courtney Forrest will be 17th. Robert Height will be number 16th for sure. Tony Pedregon moves up to number 13 spot. Our next pair, Dale Creasy Jr. in the near lane. Number 15 qualifier. Number 14 qualifier, Del Worsham, far lane. A 177-1 for Creasy Jr., 182-6 for Del Worsham. Creasy Jr. stays 15th, Worsham stays 14th, Tony Pedregon stays 13th. Our next pair, number 12 qualifier, Ron Capps, near lane. Number 11 qualifier, Frank Pedregon, far lane. Ron Capps finally qualifying for a race with a new funny car. 181.4 for Frank Pedregon and 186.2 for Ron Capps. Capps stays 12th, Frank Pedregon will stay 11th. Our next pair, Jim Epler, near lane, Scoop Ricardo, far lane. Jim Epler 10th, Ricardo 9th. 176.8 for Jim Epler and 179 flat for Scoop Ricardo. Epler stays 10th, Ricardo stays 9th. Our next pair, number 8 qualifier, Eric in the near lane. Number 7 qualifier, Mellon in the far lane. Mellon a 171.7. Eric a 175.4. Eric will remain 8th. Mellon moves up to number 6. Our next pair now, number 7 qualifier, Sinister in the near lane. Number 5 qualifier, Helatic in the far lane. 171.7 from Helatic and a 175.1 from Sinister. Sinister stays 7th. Helatic will stay 5th. Mellon will stay 6th. Our next pair, number 4 qualifier, Mello in the near lane. Number 3 qualifier, Fisher in the far lane. A 171.6 for Mello. A 171.8 for Fisher. Mello stays 4th. Fisher stays 3rd. Our final pair. Number 2 qualifier, Cruz Pedregon in the near lane. Number 1 qualifier, Thunder in the far lane. Can Thunder stay your number 1 qualifier? Yes, he will. A 172.3 for Thunder. Cruz Pedregon, a 173.6. Thunder stays number 1. Cruz Pedregon stays number 2. Here are your round 1 matchups for Funny Car. Thunder will take on Robert Hite. Cruz Pedregon will take on Dale Creasy Jr. Fisher will take on Del Worsham. Mello will take on Tony Pedregon. Helatic will take on Ron Capps. Mellon will take on Frank Pedregon. Sinister will take on Jim Epler. And Eric will take on former teammate Ricardo. Tomorrow's race day, we start top field, round number 1.